the Skyline pretty much how I wanted it. I just had the itch to do another car, so I found this K11 Micra 1 litre. It's a second facelift model for sale. Picked this up for 350 quid and wanted to use it as a B-road basher, so something that I didn't really care too much about. Had some brand new DTM mirrors kicking around still, and I found out that Mark III Golf base plates fit with a little bit of trimming. Next was some BMW bottle cap wheels and some lowering springs. We also painted the kidney grills and the bottom of the bumper black. This did start to take shape. I found some Almira GTI seats already on micro rails locally, so they were a straight bolt in and the interior was completely stripped. Then came the Honda Civic side skirts and the DIY splitter. DIY aluminium door cards. I later on swapped the rivets for riv nuts. The headlights got split and the chrome inserts were painted black. The first of many Gizfab purchases. This is their X-Brace, and also had their Devil spoiler mounted to the boot lid and a Volvo splitter cut and made to fit the car, as well as some import number plate lights from a K11. More import parts, this time some tail lights. These were split and all the reflectors removed so they were clear. Next was a mod that a lot of people didn't really like. This was inspired by a graffiti artist called Kemba, who do initial D style artwork on cars over in America. So I used some pinstriping, I believe that was 12mm, all over the car to give the same effect before I took the plunge and painted it. We also had some Mighty Car Mods door boards made, and the roof was wrapped gloss black. Found a 1.4 engine locally, and it was time to get this stripped down and painted. So this is the engine block with pretty much all the ancillaries removed, ready for prepping. I then gave it a coat of smooth silver and smooth black hammerite, making sure I masked up where any seal or other component went. This is with the power steering pump, water pump fitted, inlet manifold. I painted the rocker cover BMW Atlantis blue, and this is pretty much all connected. Same as the MX-5 engine, every nut, bolt, washer was replaced with stainless. Every sensor, seal, gasket was also replaced. The only thing I didn't do was split it open and do the internals. Gearbox also got a lick of paint too. First time removing an engine. I did have a little bit of help from my friend Kev, but we managed to do it in a couple of afternoons. Engine bay then got sprayed satin black, which was quite a nice contrast. And this is the engine all back together with the Gizfab 41 manifold, Almira GTI airbox. Yeah, it was looking pretty tidy. eBay short shifter. These end up rattling like there's no tomorrow, so just be aware. I then done a pre-facelift front end swap. This consisted of the wings, bonnet, grille, bumper, headlights and bumper brackets. Then I made a DIY Nismo inspired open mouth grille. Noticed a couple of dodgy patches on the sills, so they were cut out and a plate welded in. Another shout out to Kev for helping me with this. Almira GTI calipers were fitted. These are a direct bolt on, you just need a 1mm shim behind the caliper. What seemed to have took forever was this Impal replica front bumper. The fit wasn't too bad considering it was fiberglass. We also made a custom sort of under tray shield thing to help it be rigid, and also to prevent any damage underneath. Also fitted some rotor slipstream wheels. Made a rear diffuser mimicking the Skyline, so already had a good idea what to do. Also painted it with smooth silver hammerite. Next up was the roll cage. Shout out to Johnny for helping me fit this. This was made by Cage Laser, supplied by GSM. So this was a fairly straightforward fit. Also had a single Sparco Sprint L seat and a 4-point harness. And I also gave the back end of the interior lick of paint. The boot lid holes were finally welded and filled. I then also removed all the sound deadening from the footwells and gave the front footwells a lick of smooth red hammerite to match the back. And this is all done and fitted. Everything back together. Made a fire extinguisher mount and temporarily fit some 6x9 boxes. Designed a front tow hook on Microsoft Paint, and my friend Justin helped with getting everything cut out and welded together. Next was to paint the car. My friend Barry let me use his unit to paint it in, so I decided to go with graffiti paint. Again, it was cheap, easy to use, it leaves a good finish, and there's a big variety of colours. So done the base coat of red, then we used some fine line tape to mask up the painted areas for the livery, and it's all masked up ready for the top coat. Then we went over with white. Can you guess what it is yet? No? Added the gold. So the inspiration was from a Honda Civic EF, and it had the Motul graphics on. And here it is all finished. So we ended up using a single layer of 2K lacquer because the aerosol lacquer that I got just wasn't good enough. The painted on areas came out really, really good. I'm very, very pleased with it. Don't get me wrong, it's not the perfect paint job, but considering it was done in a reasonably dusty unit with, I mean, Barry's a paint sprayer, but I got no experience doing it. So yeah, turned out pretty good. Took the car to Snetterton for a track day. Been a while since I've done a track day, so I was trying to familiarise myself with everything again. Car performed brilliantly. Spent most of the time looking at what other people were doing and trying to find the limits of grip. Certainly weren't going to be setting any lap records in it, because it only had 80 horsepower, but it was brilliant, brilliant fun. After the track day, I thought long and hard of what I wanted to do with the car. It needed more power ideally if I wanted to do more track days, because the 80 horsepower from the 1.4 just wasn't enough. So didn't want to engine swap it because it was my daily and it was going to take too long to do. Didn't want to boost it because these engines can't take boost reliably. So the only other option was to sell it and buy a quicker car. And that's when I decided to go with the Colt ZZT, and that was the next project. Thanks for watching.